Well, it didn't take this long the last two times. Alrighty, there we are. Try to get my Can y'all see the chat it brought up? No.
Okay.
I'm like hearing myself in delay.
Oh yeah, I was doing that last too.
Alrighty, so we'll give it a couple of minutes. Ah!
You can help Claudia with more pickup lines. She should say your champ.
I haven't done any recently.
Alrighty. So it is, what is today?
The 21st.
January the 21st. This is going to be what? I don't know where all of the volume is coming from. So it is, what is today? I don't know where the volume is coming from. Not there. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my sound settings. I don't know where all of the volume is coming from. So it is. I don't know where the volume is coming from. Can y'all hear that? It's just like constant. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my sound settings. Ugh. I hate having to figure things out. Oh, wait, maybe this is. I think I got it. Can y'all hear that? It's just like constant. Okay, so I had like three different things going, so that would explain why. What's going on? Okay. Alrighty. I think we got it now.
Yay.
Maybe. We'll see. Still can get the intro going, but you know, whatever. It'll get there. Welcome to the second live of our podcast. It has been, I can't tell if it was just a busy week or if I was just busy. Or both. Could be both. So, I have a laundry list of news. There's been a lot of personal accomplishments this week for the kids. I can start out with a couple of those, and then when you get ready, Claudia, just let me know. I'm T1, so over here is Stray Cloud. Down there it's Nero, but I tend to forget nicknames and just call them however I call them. At least they're not explicit. Just saying. So, I'm just gonna start out with a couple of pieces of news that has happened this week. Chain Band Studio Tune La 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 fan cam passed 20,000 views on YouTube. So, yay, Chain Band. Here Always music video from Sunman has surpassed 10 million views on YouTube. Wow. IN's Instagram update from January 1st, which I don't know what it is because I don't remember, has surpassed 2 million likes. Felix is going to be featured in Vogue Korea's February 2024 issue. And I think I read he's got 13 pages. That is just his. I know, it's insane, right? Hyunjin is the most searched fourth gen idol in 2023 on Google worldwide with, I don't understand the points, but I'm reading them anyway. 1,000 or 195,345 points in search volume. Anybody want to explain that to me? I'm willing to learn. Bang Chan's NBC Music Festival 2023 Circus plus Case 143 fan cam has now surpassed 100,000 views on YouTube. Chain Band's Fly High official music video has surpassed 5 million views on YouTube. Well, considering that's the only place we can actually listen to it.
I know. Makes me
Um,
sad.
I know. It needs to be on a replay album. And then, oh, did I do that? I did it twice. Okay, that was the Bang Chan again. So I'm not going to read it twice unless somebody needs a repeat. All righty. I haven't put anything in Stay Shop. I know Kim's had some really cool stuff. She's worked on, I don't think she's put pictures in there, but she had a cup sleeve this weekend, so she was busy. She did really well. So yay, Kim. Way to go, girlfriend. Other than that, let's just jump right into Stay Care. And if anybody has any questions, I'm trying to follow the live chat, but I may or may not get to them immediately because that's the way my life happens.
Okay, so I did put a few things in our Stay Care General to go over in case anybody has any questions with that. The first one was bong, and I don't know if anybody like gets confused with that or anything like that, but basically in
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa,
K-pop,
whoa. What did you say?
exactly why I'm gonna mention this.
Okay,
Bong.
because I thought I was just hearing like
Nope.
Bong.
Yes. So in American terms, obviously that's a different definition, but in K-pop it refers to an artist and group or group's fandom light stick.
Okay.
Yeah, in case anybody
Oh, which is why the little word before
Yeah.
ours. Okay, I get it.
That's how just like let me just explain this a little bit in case anybody's just like, oh yeah, I have my bong. There you go. The next word that I'm gonna go over is bonsang. It's basically a main prize. It's based on voting, streaming, and sales. And these awards tend to be highly fought over, and fans usually argue about the results until like the end of time, which is true. I'm sure right now, like a bunch of us is arguing a little bit about Stray Kids not getting any.
Yeah, that was just crazy.
Yep.
But I have my theories. I'm just not going to put it out in the public. Y'all know what they are.
Our next one is Black Ocean. Y'all like,
Oh,
can y'all take a
Yeah.
guess? I know.
I
So,
hate those.
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I
not
hope.
good.
I don't think so, but I really hope our boys will never have to experience this. But it basically is when a large group of fans simultaneously turn off their light sticks during the performance as an act of basically shunning the group or artist. And I'm just like, oh, I hope they don't do that.
Now I know that somebody was talking about one of the groups, and it was on one of the recent award shows last year that they had gotten a Black Ocean, and once you start looking at the video, you see how that was an utter lie, because what it was people was so busy recording with their phone that they had to put their light stick down. And that's what happened, is like they put their light stick down to hold their phone to record whatever was going on stage. So can't always trust people when they say that. It's usually a hater trying to stir the pot.
Yeah, so there's actually one instance, I can't remember which idol this was, but like something happened in the fandom where they went on a rampage towards a bunch of people, and it basically got a site shut down because of it. And when that site was shut down, a lot of the idols actually really, like, it kind of felt like they were blacklisting this idol because, you know, they're faulting him for his fans. And when he first went back on stage, because a lot of people hated him around that time, and it really wasn't his fault, you know. But one thing that he did not do was that he didn't fault his fans either. Like, you know how some people, you know how Stray Kids, they do, like, if you do something wrong, they do call you out on it.
Yeah, in
Well,
a very roundabout way.
yeah. Well, this idol, he didn't really want to fault his fans. He's just like, you know, I understand where they're coming from and this and that. And a lot of people were angry at that. And so he was scared that this was going to happen to him. And whenever he got back on stage, like literally that whole audience actually lights lit up with his color. So luckily he never experienced that, but he did have a fear that that would have happened. And I'm glad he
Yeah.
did. He was actually really nice.
Well, I know that at KCON there was a lot of talk about Rain, and I don't even remember what it was he did that was so awful. But when I talked to Carrie about it, she says, I didn't see any kind of Black Ocean or anything. So whoever said that's a lie. So there's that.
Let me see. Our next thing that we're gonna go over is the big three. So this refers to like the big three entertainment companies that have launched the most successful act and are believed to have majorly influenced K-pop. So there's the SM Entertainment. They had Super Junior and SHINee. JYP Entertainment had Twice, Wonder Girls, and Stray Kids. And
And
YG
GOT7.
Entertainment and oh yeah, GOT7. And YG Entertainment, Blackpink, and Big Bang.
I also forgot 2NE1 for
And
that too.
Was it
huh?
2 p.m. JYP2 or no?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
they were.
2 p.m. and Day 6. I'm just naming a few, you guys.
And got
And
seven.
Miss A. And
How many more number groups can JYP throw out there? Let's see, got 7, 2 p.m., Day 6.
Day 6, 2 a.m. was a different thing. He had a bunch out there.
2 p.m.
Twice.
Oh yeah, instead of going 2 p.m., they went twice. Okay.
Don't they also have New
I'm done.
Jeans?
No,
they have
New
two?
Jeans is
New Jeans
is,
is
Or what?
are they Hybes or SM?
Hybe.
That's right.
Hybe.
Hybe.
And then there was also a debate on whether it should now be the big four to include Big Hit Entertainment.
That
Well,
would be
I think it
Hybe.
should.
Hybe and Big Hit are like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Hey,
manage
although-
BTS and TXT.
Although it is told, was it this week, that Black Label, which is under Hybe, I think, is splitting off.
The Black
I know
Label's
they
under YG.
YG. I knew it was one of them. In YG, isn't that the one that had the CEO that went to prison?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Big Bang member that went to prison too, that now everybody's like, oh, you know, then towards him because of what he did. So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, around that time, a lot of fans were actually against it becoming the big four just because like there were still a new company around that time, and technically they didn't start around when the big three was around in the earlier days. So they're just like, just makes sense just to keep the big three.
I can see that. I mean, BTS built that company.
Yeah, they did. The only downfall of Big Hit was their first girl group that they had. Yes, they did actually have a girl group. That's why you don't see very many under Big Hit / Hybe anymore, due to this girl group too, because they were blackmailing other people.
I
Which
just
group?
realized that. I mean, they have like TXT and they have BTS and I don't New Jeans is something, but yeah. They
Which
don't have that
girl
many girl
group?
groups. Maybe because their CEO doesn't go chasing after them like the other
Uh,
perv we know.
they were called Glam. Two of the members, I believe, got arrested for blackmailing.
Oh,
I think it was an official.
my
So
God.
due to that, that's why Big Hit slash Hype does not have very many girl groups. And
well, pretty good reason.
They're just
yep,
like, they're too much drama.
that's pretty much it. And now they're slowly starting to add girl groups back into it. So, it's nice to see a different change.
Okay, and our last word is age line. So this is when idols share the same birth year. I know a lot of us at that time you can hear like, oh, they're part of the 97 liners or they're part of the 98 liner, whichever.
The O-liner.
Oh, yeah, the O liner. It basically like because of that age line, it actually helps build relationships between the idols and basically entire communities because at in Korea, you know how it's big on like the show of respect between your elders and your and the younger ones and stuff like that. So I think around that time it's just easier to um basically get along with the same people that's in the same year as you because then you won't have to worry too much. I think that's why they mostly do that. They just have more in common that way.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
Let me see. So then I'm gonna move on to my maze of memories. Last week we were on it was the last episode where JYP did their evaluation, right?
I don't know. He did it several times. I tried not to listen to him because he just makes me mad.
Just before the big battle between YG Entertainment and JYP.
Mhm.
So we're on episode 6, part 3. And this episode begins with them in their training room, relieved that none of them actually was excluded from the dance team, thankfully. Um, they ended up trying to cheer Ian up since, he was a little disheartened from being excluded from the vocal team. Because he did look a little upset. He didn't seem to be like cheering along with everybody else when they were talking about the competition. And I felt so bad because he was so sad. They then go on to show like a flash of different scenes where all the boys are practicing for the battle. And then finally, the day finally comes for the battle, and the boys are waiting outside the company for JYP. After JYP gets there and they go up to where the other team is waiting, they end up greeting them. And surprisingly, Chenny hugs one of the members that turns out used to be a JYP trainee. And not surprisingly enough, JYP did not recognize him because,
Imagine that.
he's not a female.
I was fixing to say he didn't have the right equipment.
Doesn't have no boulders.
Mm-mm.
YG was running a little late. Like, how do you say his name? I'm just gonna say YG. He was running a little late, so JYP decided to get familiar with the other team, which he was surprised by one of the members actually being 13. This member started as a trainee at age 11. After that, he recognized one of the members as Bangandem. I think that's how you say his name, Bangandem.
Yedam.
And Gidem.
That's how you
So
pronounce it.
he was on K-pop Star, and JYP was there. I guess like he was one of the judges, and so he told him to take it easy on them because he recognized that he was a very good vocalist. So he was just like, yeah, I didn't expect you to be here, but take it easy. Don't show your full talents. Um,
Wow, that's
and he said,
look. I'm just
since
looking back on it now. It's just like, wow. Okay.
uh, which JYP was worried about, you know, But then YG did end up showing up, and JYP mentions not recognizing Yedem at first, and then YG mentions if JP didn't recognize what is it, Ray Sung, the member that was a JYP, was it Ray Sung? I don't remember, but he said like, "Oh, do you recognize him?" He was like, "Huh?" and looks confused. And YG mentions him being that kid that always practiced late and sung looking in the mirror. And he then it didn't clicks for JYP, and he shows a flashback of Ray Sung on how he was praised for being like a dance prodigy. And YG mentions that he can also produce and make music. So I guess their team also had a producer on their team.
Wow, that was a huge loss for JYP.
Yeah.
JYP
I
has a
don't.
lot of loss.
Yep. So the last battle between YG and JYP was 4 years prior to this battle between GOT7 and iKON. And then Rain and what is it, 7 was back in 2001, and Han was like, dang, I was like 1 then. 9 was like, oh, I was just born. I'm surprised that I was 4, I think. Yeah. No, I was 4. And after the introductions, the battle was finally going to start, and the first battle was the free battle. Han and Changbin were the first to go up, and obviously their performance was going to be a rap. Changbin begins by introducing them and mentions what the song's about and like the whole introduction that he did with JYP when they were practicing. And then he also says like, oh, Channing was the one who produced this track, and all of them were the ones who like wrote it. Changbin also explain the song. YG actually makes a joke about it being like peeling an onion, because he was like, oh, it's like opening a doll. He's like, oh, okay, so it's like peeling an onion. Like Shrek over here, many layers.
That's JYP and YG for layers.
I know, right? Changbin worried about filling in Channing's spot, and Han was having a little more confidence, and so he was hoping to get his rap acknowledged, especially since during the evaluation before this battle, JYP did insult his rap a little bit, saying that his rap flow was kind of like boring, and he already like heard it before, and this is not. He wanted to see something new, so he was hoping that he'd be able to do that.
Do you think he knows how much he's loved around the world?
Not very much according to his little community on fans.
It was a joke. Like, I see no love heading that way.
He's not gonna get love anytime.
Nope.
No. I guess if you're so self-absorbed, you never see anything around you anyway.
That explains his and YG's friendship.
Hmm.
So that episode actually ended like that, and so we move on to part 4 of episode 6, and this one begins with them finally beginning their rap. And during their rap, the elder company heads seemed pretty pleased, and everybody was really getting into it. And when it ended, YG said that he really didn't expect much due to JYP Entertainment always being behind YG Entertainment in terms of rappers. But he said out of all the rappers he's seen in JYPE, they were actually the best. So that was a good compliment. JYP mentions that he was a little worried at first, but then when they started and it wasn't like unstable, he gained more confidence along the way. If he was a little worried about it, maybe he shouldn't have like broken up the 3 of them to begin with, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, the majority of us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Next performance was, I guess they're like interchanging. So like JYP's first, and then YG, and then JYP, and then YG. So the next one was YG's group, and the first one to perform was Bank Yedem, which JYP mentioned them starting off with their A's. He seemed a little worried. Yedem did seem nervous before he started singing, but I mean, I couldn't really blame him, because the whole time as he was like preparing himself, they were like praising him continuously and saying like, oh, he's such a good singer. He gets good grades in school. He was actually like number one in his class and yada yada. And so like, of course, like if it was me, I would have felt a lot of pressure from that. When he began singing, he honestly was really good. Like as I was listening to him, I was like, oh my gosh, like he could really control vocals. Like he was, I can understand why they were praising him so much. He did seem to gain a lot of confidence throughout his performance, and everybody was really impressed. And the episode basically ended with Woojin saying how impressed he was by it. So then we move on to episode 6, part 5. And this episode began with the vocal team, Bang Chan, Han, and Woojin. The members introduced themselves, and YG begins pointing out Han already performed, and Chani was the team's leader and in charge of producing, and how it was first time meeting Woojin, and Woojin mentioned being in charge of the vocals. YG mentions
see how that went.
I know, right? Now it's Sungmin. YG mentions that he heard that they can get eliminated from the group, and the song that they decided to sing was Blackpink's As If It's Your Last, and he said, I hope that, just like the title that they're about to sing, he hopes it won't be their last. Man's a jokester over here.
Ha, 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 ha.
I know, Channy basically laughed it off and was like, oh yeah, how about we perform like it is our last, so that way we can give y'all a good performance.
I tend to start my day with eye rolls, and I'm pretty sure Chan would do the same thing.
It then shows like flashbacks to them preparing for the song, and Channy had to take over Ian's spot. And it seemed he had a lot of trouble and kept making mistakes with it, and he was getting upset because he was hoping that to do well with that part for Ian's sake, as well as hearing like you did well, which I'm sure he doesn't get a lot, especially being the leader of a basically mental group. You probably have a lot of pressure put on you, and you won't really hear that many good comments, especially from JYP.
Yep.
That episode ended with the group just starting to sing, and so it moves on to episode 7, part 1, and it basically begins the same how it ended on the last episode. So once they start singing during the performance, you know, I really couldn't help to continue to be amazed by their vocals. Like as I was listening to them, I was like, oh my gosh, they sing really well. And it seemed like I wasn't the only one amazed, because the other team was just like, oh my gosh, they sing well too, especially since Han was known as a rapper and he can sing just as well. When it was over, YG mentions it never being easy to turn a girls group song into like what they turned it into and made it their own. He then compliments Han by saying he knew he was a rapper, but that he liked his vocals as well. And one thing to mention is that Han and Woojin did their part perfectly. I noticed that he didn't mention anything with Channy, which I was like, okay, I feel like he did really well as well. He did his perfectly, but okay.
Probably one more reason why Chain Bin really can't stand the guy. He sees the disrespect. He knows.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't even understand. But at least from what I've heard from YG so far was all compliments. I haven't heard really a lot of critiques from him at all. He seems to be like really enjoying the performances, which I'm sure JYP would have been like at least had one or two complaints about their performances, but all he mentioned at the end was how they turned their song into their own color basically, and he was surprised by that. That episode ended and episode 7 part 2 begins, and it begins with YG's group going next, and YG like kind of making excuses like, you know, they didn't start off as a team, he just kind of rushed putting them together, so don't be too hard on them if their performance isn't 100%. During the performance, they honestly were really well, like they did really good. And JYP mentions at the end of the performance that they did do really well, but of course, JYP with his little self needs to critique something. So he critiques one of the members and just says like, he sings really well, but to like make sure that his voice can like resonate and come off as a bigger sound, yada yada. And then he said he was really impressed by another member, said he couldn't really find any fault in his performance. JYP then moves on to say in the next battle, neither team could give an inch because both companies are actually really strong in the dance department. So first up was Stray Kids, and we all know what performance that was. They start by
That was pretty
introducing
funny.
yeah, they start by introducing themselves, and when they get to Felix, YG asks if Felix is from overseas. I'm assuming because of his accent when he speaks Korean, as well as the way he's named. And YG asks if Felix is still learning the language, so he takes a second to understand and keeps having to ask YG to like repeat himself, which YG was just like, "You want to be hit? Like, are you serious?" He asked him a few more questions. When Felix keeps on asking him to repeat himself, YG ends up switching to English and says he should probably stop asking questions. And you know what? Should have started off by stopping and asking questions. I'm pretty sure he just wanted to see how far he can get with him not being able to understand, I guess. I don't know. They finished introducing themselves, and YG mentions expecting a lot from their dance performance due to GOT7's performance years ago. That episode ends and episode 7 starts part 3, and it begins with Stray Kids beginning their dance. The dance started off very cute and fun, but halfway through the song, it takes a more serious turn, gets more serious in the dance, a little more sexier, but that's just me. When the dance ended, Channing mentions he was really proud of the performance, especially the way everybody was like looking really like shocked and amazed by how well it went. YG starts off by asking who made the choreography, to which Channing mentions overall it was like the whole team that put in their suggestions. And YG says that he can definitely see they worked really well as a team, and because of that, they were able to make it fun and smart. He said that he will be able to give them a high pass. Next was YG's team, and Stray Kids being good sports cheered for them to do great. During the performance, although they said they weren't really a team, it seemed like they worked really well together. JYP made a few critiques, but was overall impressed. After the performance, YG and JYP was impressed by how it went. And YG commented Stray Kids that he hopes that they are successful, but that they don't, that hopes they don't become too prideful. Which ends the episode on a good note, and everybody saying bye to each other. And that was the last episode. And
Cool.
then
I don't know where my list is. So a little more
that's what you're
news.
looking for.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I swear I saw it earlier, but I don't know what I did with it. 2024 Giving Star list. Um, they introduce you to people who make even the snow. I'm just reading. Who make even the snow and cold weather melt with their good influence. Felix tied for second. He donated 100 million won to UNICEF with the comment, I participated in this donation because I wanted to share the love I received. The donation will be used to improve poor drinking water and sanitation environment for children. I don't understand the hate this kid gets. I mean, I don't get it. For the fourth gen groups with most albums with over 200 million streams on Spotify, Stray Kids came in first with 10. Let's see. Rockstar has surpassed 200 million streams on Spotify. It is their 10th album to do so. I'm not going to read all that right now. I haven't even been in Discord this week, so I'm not sure what all's in there. I don't. Okay, so Kim put something in the slumping room. It's called Chained Soldier. I don't know if this is a book or what. I'm not going to click on that link because I'll never get back. Red lights. It's a lot of books in red lights reading room. Languages. I don't think I put any. Yeah, nothing in languages. Probably nothing in circus. Sriracha. Oh yeah, you put that in there for Three
Sure
Racha
did.
Studio. Would you go ahead and tell us about that?
Basically it's just mentioning how it was Sriracha's 7-year anniversary. So felt like for them. But there was like a trading party. Basically, they just threw out some threads for that. I guess they also had a what is that called? A streaming party to where they basically went off and started streaming a bunch of their songs around that time, which was when was that?
It's probably why they had that cup sleeve this weekend, didn't it?
Yeah. They let me tell you, there was so many ads put up for Three Racha all in New York and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, damn.
Well, not even there, but like in other places too. I've seen some of the Three Watt Racha stuff in like where you catch
Japan.
buses and trains and things like that, but it wasn't in America. It was in some places that I didn't know where they
Yeah,
were.
I
So
saw some Japan and Korea and I think
yeah.
Germany maybe.
Yep. Yep. So, Miro has surpassed 150 million streams on Spotify. Some of these really shock me because I would have thought they would have passed this stuff already. Just talked about Three Racha. They also released their first mixtape EP, Three Racha, which I guess is why they're coming off of the Three Racha anniversary. So, Rockstar now ties Ordinary as Stray Kids' longest running #1 project on Billboard World Albums chart, both with 6 weeks. Do you want to go ahead and go? We don't have anything in 143, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You want to go ahead and do a stay story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me see what I have not done so far. I mean, it doesn't
And
really
then
matter though.
we'll dive into gym and stuff next. Okay, Key?
Mhm.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna go with this one. It says, so I'm 37. I live in the United States. 6 months ago, I was in severe depressive episode. I was doom scrolling through Facebook and kept seeing a short pop-up. It was the relay dance for Stray Kids. I clicked it. I then got curious about what the lyrics meant, so I watched the music video. I kept going through music video after music video until Alien. I cried my eyes out because that's how I felt. Soon found a short of Chan at a concert crying, I'll protect each and every one of you. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. But the members still make fun of him for that.
Well, and then he did it again.
Yeah,
He
he
said, I'm
did.
not going to do that again. And then he did it again. So, I mean,
You know very
it's a
well. Okay,
habit.
man
It's a
is
habit
the
now. It's just a habit.
he is so sensitive. He's so sensitive.
I know.
But it's so cute. They said I went and got help the day for my mental health. So now I have a small group of stays that I check on and help with their mental state. I know the dark places our minds could go. Stay is a family, not do my best to take care of them. He is one of them.
What you want, boo?
Biases are Chan and Felix, Wreckers, Lino, and Changbin.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and jump into to the gym, and
Yay.
I'm gonna try to find my paper.
So
Ow! I'm not coming after you.
Tanya put in something for 34 anti-inflammatory lunches you can pack for work. I don't leave the house, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and I don't follow my own suggestions. Oh, it's on my list.
So
I can take that suggestion. I make my daughter's lunch for school.
So I decided to go off of what Tanya posted and decided to share something about inflammation and stuff like that. Um so the hormone that apparently we have in our body that causes inflammation from sorry. So it's called leptin. It's also a hormone that regulates our hunger, like appetite. Um, Scientists, I guess, also believe that it is like a major cause of inflammation if it's not balanced.
What?
It's called leptin. So they've done tests apparently triggering inflammation on purpose. Sounds painful.
It's not a lot of fun.
But article goes into like detail about like how it has like an effect on the immune system and what you can do to help inflammation. So, a very long article. That's what I have for that.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and do just breathe while we're there.
So I posted something for anxiety for this. The main thing is like what exactly is anxiety? It's our body's normal reaction to stress when we're presented with potential danger. Our bodies respond to that stress. Fear is a similar emotional response. Fear is the body's response to a real or perceived imminent threat, and anxiety is our body and mind anticipating a future. So it's everybody goes through it at least at some point. It may, be small, it may be big. Like public speaking is a very big anxiety inducing thing, especially if somebody is afraid of spiders and arachnophobia. So, anxiety, funny enough, also worsens pain both physically and mentally. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay, so it took me a minute to find the taste restaurant because I wasn't looking under Dan Sriracha.
Sam, you don't listen to me.
I don't remember you telling me that you put them under there. Okay, so I just put this in there. And I'm gonna slaughter this name. 4 easy Chibaki spicy Korean rice cake recipes that you'll love. There's not a picture of a rice cake on the front of it
I was
though.
gonna say
So
I thought that was pasta. I did not expect that to be a rice cake.
yeah, I'm not seeing much rice nor cake going on in there, so I'm not sure where the I don't know if they just like mixed up the food pictures or what they did, but it's not what I would have seen.
I clicked on
The
the link
bakery.
and it still does not look like it.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure I talked about the strawberry bark last week. Genjin's slacking on his artwork. He needs to amp that up a little bit. And then, yeah, well, dance challenges. Nope, nope. Um, Found my list. I told you it was in here somewhere. Let's just read. Jam, Dance Rocha. Of course, we still don't have anything in Drive with Stay because evidently none of us go anywhere.
I had put something in there.
Did you put something in there?
I did, yeah, from my trip to Florida.
Oh, well,
I
that's
was
how
gonna
much
put
I pay
more.
attention.
I was gonna put more in it. I just haven't had a chance, but I was gonna put the hotels I've been to, so just in case anybody visits Florida, they'll be able to like if they like it, I'll give like a good rating on it or anything like that. And some of the places I've been to, like we went to what is that beach called? It's
Funky
like
Pelican?
Pensacola. No, it's like Pensacola or something like that.
Oh,
It's
Pensacola.
yeah, Pensacola. It's like the whitest beach. So that was
Hmm.
really cool. It was
I've been to
cold, but
Florida
it was
several
cool.
times, but we never got to do fun stuff. I'll have to watch that video later. See, normally this month I would be out traveling, but I'm not. And then my husband calls and says, "You should be with me. So and so's wife is with him, and so and so's wife is with him. Maybe you can go next month." I was like, "No, no." I said, "I'm too busy now. You should have taken me when you had a chance, because now it ain't gonna happen." Okay. Let's go into Chan's Den.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so his this live is episode 18, happened on May 5th, 2019. It's actually a very short live. It was only like about 40 minutes. But he actually was doing this live in Germany because they were on their Unveiled tour. Um,
Mm,
the songs that were played during this live was Sunday Morning by Maroon 5, Photograph by Ed Sheeran, Rewrite the Stars by The Greatest Showman, and A Million Dreams by The Greatest Showman. I Can't Have You by Shawn Mendes, I See the Light by Tangled, On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. So it begins with Channy getting shy, and literally the whole like beginning of the intro when this Insomnia that he always plays as the intro started playing, he was
ah,
just like, oh my gosh, the whole time. And it was mainly because he did just take a shower, and I guess like he got to sleep a little bit more than usual. So he kept mentioning that his face was swollen. I really didn't notice that. So it could have just been him thinking that way. that
I'm guessing.
that he normally does, but you know, he looked really good. But of course, Mans didn't think so during that. So he does mention just taking a shower, and he also says that they were in Germany and they were invited to
What?
go to the Big Five concert the day before, which he said was an honor. This first song he plays is Sunday Morning by Maroon 5. As the song is played, he does answer some of the comments, and some of the things were like, oh, I love this song, or you look really good. And, man, that man cannot take a compliment. So he's always like, oh, don't lie, I don't look good. I'm too swollen. They wanted to see his hair because he talked about putting some products in his hair and like slicking it back so it was like stuck that way for now. So he had a beanie on, and he was just like, no, 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 I'm not taking this off. It's staying on. Okay. The next song that he plays is Photograph by Ed Sheeran. And if nobody knows this, which I'm sure all of us should know it by now, is Ed Sheeran is actually a favorite singer of Chenny's. And he, of course, praises Ed Sheeran through this whole thing. And then he goes on to play the next song, Rewrite the Stars by The Greatest Showman,
Ah, ah.
recommended by us today. And he again mentions, so he did play this song the very first live that he had. And he mentions that the way he came about to hearing this song is during one of their flight, there was a movie list if you wanted to watch a movie during the flight. And The Greatest Showman was part of that movie list. And so he decided just to watch this movie, and he ended up really loving it. So that's how he heard that song for the first time. He also going piggybacking off of this song, he decided to play A Million Dreams by The Greatest Showman. He loves that one just as much as Rewrite the Stars. He does mention having a dream when he was a kid to do music with his family. So he says that a lot of his family, his two younger siblings, Hannah and Lucas, and his mom and dad, they're all kind of like a musical family. And he mentions that his dream is to one day do something musically together, do a performance, anything like that, which honestly, I would be so excited to see. He says
That would
that,
be an awesome collaboration.
it really would. He says that him and his siblings were inspired by his parents and that each one of them has really good vocals. So I would be really excited to see like how that performance
Maybe
would go.
maybe once Lucas is out of school.
Maybe. I mean, I don't his like he always mentions how his mom is a big lover of music and most of the songs that he listens to was inspired by his mom because every time they drive she's always playing music in the car and especially the older versions type of music, so he does have an older taste. The next song he plays is I Can't Have You by Shawn Mendes. He does mention liking Shawn Mendes a lot as well, so there's gonna be a few times where Shawn Mendes' song pops up on his rooms. After that song, he mentions he asks if anybody wanted a Disney song for a recommendation, and one of the songs that was recommended was "I See the Light." That's on Tangled. I really love that song, to be honest. It's such a sweet song.
I'd have to watch the movie again to.
It's the
Oh, that was a
one
while
where
ago.
it's the one where Rapunzel and Eugene are on that boat and the lanterns, they're lighting the lanterns on the river.
Yeah, I
You know
still
what
don't
I'm
remember it. I remembered like the scene, but hearing the song in my head, it's not happening.
I would sing it, but I'm a terrible singer.
We're not going to go into that today. Ah,
Chenny also mentions that being on their Unveiled tour and how they were given an opportunity to really see the world and appreciate the sights, he ended up he really appreciated everything because he got to see the world and the different cultures and the different things. So he was just like, that's what brought on his recommendations for his next song, which is On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. And he was just like, it has worlds in it. So that's what it reminded him when he goes around the world to see. Before he played that song, he does end up pulling his hat off, and we got to see his wet hair. And it was a little wonky because, as he said, he did have product in it. It kind of looked like as if you put gel in your hair and it was like stuck one way. And but we only got to see it for a few seconds because he put it back on because he was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. He plays On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons, and he hopes that this song will lift Stay's spirits and for Stay to stay positive. He mentions that this live itself received about 160,000 hearts and nearly 150,000 people were watching. He ends the live with a hug and then proceeds to show us his hair and starts playing around with it to see if he can fix it a certain way. And he also mentions that most of the time when he does like have different hairstyles, he gets to choose his own hairstyle because he does believe that a person's hairstyle is important and that he is glad that he gets to pick his own. I hope he still gets to pick his own, but as they get bigger, a lot of the times the idols get stuff taken away. It could go either or.
I
You
think
either
he's
get
had
more
plenty
freedom,
taken away in the last year.
yeah, you either get more freedom or you basically lose more freedom. It just
They've done
depends.
both.
Yep. So he finally managed to fix his hair a certain way after taking the beanie off again, and then he said bye, and that's how that live ended. He's such a sweetheart. I just love when
Speaking of
laugh.
Germany, this is not exactly Germany, but 5 Star has been certified gold in Poland. It's their very first in the region. And Stray Kids joins BTS and Blackpink as the only Korean acts in history to receive the ZPAP album certification. So go Stray Kids. Anytime I'm good with them following BTS and Blackpink because they are legends in the
Mhm.
K-pop industry. So anytime they come in third, I'm good. I'm good with that.
Because what is it? BTS is the third or is the third generation, right? Or is it the
The
second?
third.
Are they second or third?
Third, right?
They're the third.
Yeah.
Blackpink is third too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They're kind of like right there with GOT7 because I debuted like 2 years before GOT7 did.
It's always funny because a lot of people say like they kind of miss how the second generation was because it's like they didn't care whatsoever about anything. Like they were like they just did what they wanted. And now fourth generation, they have to be careful what they do and they have to watch every little thing and make sure that they
Well,
don't
that
overstep
just
boundaries or anything like that.
It's the
that's
toxic
because of
fans.
the top. Yeah, exactly.
Like second gen was so carefree, like because I like Big Bang and I like 21 or 2NE1. There's different ways to say their name. Like they interacted a whole lot and even had like ship names that like how we have now, but like kind of weird now that I look back on it. And it was like, oh, we're just friends and everything else, almost like brother sister type. And now, you get to like fourth gen, you don't see that because toxic fans are like, hey, that person belongs to me, not to that person. You start
Well,
dating, blah blah
I
blah
wouldn't
blah.
say completely. Like Stray Kids really doesn't like I don't think they really care. Like you've seen them hang out with some of the female idols as well as like heck, wasn't there one part in uh what is it, Twice's video where Chan's basically leaning up on the wall and it looks like he's flirting with her, even though he's a big flirt. And I just think that that comes naturally to him. It doesn't mean that he was actually flirting.
No, no,
But
he's
nobody
not.
really
The thing is, fans have gotten, upset about him even being in Twice's videos. Being that
It's so
close to
that's
another
so
asinine.
dumb.
female. It's
It's like they treat them like they're old enough to date, and then they infantilize them. I can't even say that word. And it's like the youngest one is 23. I'm pretty sure he knows what's going on, and
yeah.
he
I wish or
probably
hope
wouldn't
so.
date somebody like you.
It's just a lot of K-nets think that, oh, we shell out this much money for them, so they like we own them. It's like, no, you don't own anybody. Let them hang out with their friends regardless of what gender they are.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously, it's not that big a deal. Like one of these days they're gonna start dating and they're gonna end up married and
I'm hoping
they're
for
gonna
the
have kids.
boys. I'm hoping all that for the boys that want it.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously.
It's so sad. Who was that just recently that had to divorce because they went after his wife like nobody's business, and they literally had to divorce so that she could be in peace. That's asinine. It's like, God.
I didn't hear about that. Dang.
I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if he was like a K drama actor or if he was like an older idol or where it was, but he got married. I don't even think they were married a year. Like they just came after her like a bunch of rabid raccoons. It was insane. They were following her, they were stalking, bullying, the sending of the death threats. Her family got attacked. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And until they start like actually punishing these people, it's just going to keep happening. That is one thing
That is
I am super proud of Hive about is they're going after these people. That girl from IVE just won her lawsuit this week. And yeah, her company's really going after these people.
that's good because I know Jungkook had a few mishaps where there was people sending food to his home.
Didn't
Yeah,
he
well,
welcome that
that
though?
was not near as no, he told them to
No.
quit doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
He
'cause
Uh-uh.
I
They're
I've
not gonna
seen
he's not gonna eat it anyway. You don't know if they poisoned it or not. There's too
I've
many
seen
freaking
some
psychos.
I've seen so many articles saying, oh, he said this and he said
No,
that. It's like I don't
no.
keep up with them, so I don't know what he said. So,
He said, stop it. Do not send food to me. I am not gonna eat it. What I think what irritated him the most is the fact that they literally doxed him. They showed everybody his address, everybody his phone number. In one of his lives, he actually says, I don't even have to tell you my address because you already know it.
Damn.
So, I
So
mean,
it's so ridiculous when
hopefully
it gets that.
his new house will be ready soon and he can get out of that apartment. But no, he told them, quit sending me food. I'm not gonna eat it. I wouldn't eat that shit either.
It was at that
yeah.
point that like Jungkook actually um basically started shunning his fans a little bit. Like he was just like so upset with them that he was literally ashamed of their humor
Yeah.
of them. Like he didn't even call
That
them
and they
army
were
anymore. He literally just said fans.
yeah.
I
He
don't
and
blame
then
him.
I think it
Blame-
was also when there was a vape on the back of his couch and the fans caught that and they just all went ballistic and I'm like,
Oh, whoop de
pretty
fucking
sure
do.
you're not. Yeah, it's
Mans
He's
is
old enough.
26. I know he's literally 26.
I
Not
keep
that old.
forgetting he's older than me.
so anyway, um the Bulgari has a perfume line now and they're getting Felix to advertise in Vogue for them. And the two that he's been shown in the pictures with is already topped the best sellers in the USA, Japan, Italy, France, Canada, Morocco, China, Hong Kong, Philippines, and Thailand. Good
So
thing he has no impact. Yeah, so
I
sorry, my
wouldn't
back
be
is hurting.
surprised if he becomes more of a model when, all the boys go into the army.
Oh, I can totally see that. Everybody wants him. Bang Chan's Instagram count has surpassed 7 million followers. You know what irritates me? When I post stuff like that and somebody comes on in the comments and is like, but isn't that all the boys? Okay, this isn't about all of the boys. This is the spotlight on this member's achievement or milestone. Let him have his light. I mean, seriously, because there's days it could literally be the Hyunjin and Felix show on the newsreel, and I try not to do that, but God, they're so everywhere doing everything. So,
it's because they're pretty boys.
They're all
well, they
pretty
are
boys.
pretty. All the boys are pretty.
Well,
They are all
actually,
pretty, yeah.
But
they're the pretty boys, but you got Channy who's sexy and Changbin, because they're older, you know.
Yeah.
And they're more the type to be like get buffer, like
oh
with
yeah,
his thighs and everything. Ian's going into that group too. But Felix and Hyunjin are more of like Felix is
Softer.
more of the
yeah, they're
sunshine,
soft.
and
They're yeah,
Hyunjin's more of the drama queen that likes to like.
He's the
but he's
drama
still
llama.
super soft. I mean, because when that dude nearly attacked him in what was it, Japan or whatever, and you just saw him instantly turtle, that's just whew,
That's drama
yeah,
response right there.
yeah.
Poor thing.
He's so
Stray Kids
sensitive.
Chief,
Like you just
he
like I
is
feel
super.
so bad for him because he loves Faith so much, and just like to hear one little comment about it, like how people are getting onto him on that one live that he went on Instagram live, and he was like, oh, can whoever's on the fans app that aren't fans, can y'all like get off? Like I
Oh yeah,
come
I
on
missed
fans
that
to
live. I
talk to
miss all of
them.
his lives.
I was actually on that live, and
Is
obviously
that
I
the
didn't
one
understand.
he did in the dance studio?
Hmm Yeah.
That was his last
I
one he
only
did
saw
that.
like a pic. Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I know what
I
you're
didn't get a
talking about.
notification for that live, and I'm so mad because I was up when he was doing live.
Yeah, I'm not
I got the
usually.
notification luckily, so I did get to see it. And I'm so proud of the fact that he actually said something, because it's true. Even though the Fans app is free, that does not mean use it however you want it. And that does not mean if you're not a fan of Stray Kids, there should be no reason why you're even on their group community.
The only reason they're on it is to create issues. That is the only reason.
Which is probably why Lino and Changbin only go on like the membership one because they're just like, I just really want to just talk to the fans and I don't like they probably just don't like the fact that when the free part is not all their fans.
I wonder if you
Well,
start.
I mean, they get so much hate from aunties. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna find the aunties and just bother them and see
Throat
how they
punch them.
like it. That too. We'll take the list
They would probably
violent
love it
way.
because they have attention. I can actually see the boys all going behind the paywall eventually, simply because of that. I mean, and it
And it's
sucks
nice.
for people who can't buy the membership or don't buy the membership or is too late to buy the membership later on. But I
That
would
was me
rather our
last
boys
year.
be happy and be happy and be comfortable, talking to stay and things like that than having to keep themselves behind a wall because this auntie did this or this person did that. It's just so
It takes more energy to start drama than it is to stay
I
out.
know.
Like, be a lazy fan and just appreciate the boys, not become an auntie.
Well, there's getting to be too many solo stands too that are just like right there underneath that
I feel
level
like
of
those are just
saucing. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like those are just as bad, if not worse, than the entities because at least they're upfront with like not liking Stray Kids, and of course they're just as bad. But with the solo stands, like how can you say you stand a group but only stand that one member and like shun the
Yeah.
others? That doesn't make sense.
Some somebody was posted about that, how Hyunjin solo stands are always about Hyunjin, 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 and even Hyunjin himself said that Stray Kids should always come before his name because that's who he is. And they were like, do these aunties not understand what he's saying?
because there
Quit
was no uh
quit doing that because he would not be who he is without Stray Kids. And the same. So yeah, it's just ridiculous.
it really is like while you can stand one member, like obviously our biases, like my bias is Bing Chen, it does not mean that you should not like support the other members. Like my wallets are always running dry at the fact that even though Bing Chan's my bias, I still get the other stuff from the other members because
Mhm.
they work just as hard and they work just as well as also. So it's only right that I support them just as much as I do Bing Chan because just like he works hard, they also work hard.
Well, Bang Chan would not be here if it was not for the others.
He
Mm-hmm.
He
literally
has
says
already
that
said
all the
that.
time. He
And I'm
literally
not
says
talking
like
about not in the spotlight. He literally would not be walking this earth without those other boys.
Yeah.
he
He
literally
has said
said they
that
were just
several
like
times. They
It's like
saved his
light in the
life.
dark.
it's like we
Yeah.
all know who my bias is, obviously. And it's just like, people throw fits when, they don't get their bias and like the cards and such. I don't like I squealed when I got Felix for the postcard thing. Like, who wouldn't want
Yeah.
to support all the members, even though you love your bias? It's like, but your bias wouldn't be here without. Yeah.
They
The only
literally
time I got
are
upset about that is when I paid $32 and got a Han. thinking I was getting a whole OTA. That pissed me off just a little bit because I love
That's-
Honey, but I could have done with somebody else's card a lot better.
Well, that's understandable, because OTA versus just the one member and you're paying like a shit ton.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good deal. Yeah, no, you got
The
ripped
s-
off, chick.
The solo stands, man, they're worse now
Oh,
when they were in second gen too.
yeah.
It's breaking up a lot
S-
of groups because of that.
Vogue Business this week included Felix, Jimin, RM, and Mingyu in their latest feature titled "What the Rise of Baby Girl Men Means for Fashion." Not quite sure what to make of that. Everybody seems to think it's a great thing, but I'm not in there, so whatever.
They put Mingyu in the baby girl category.
And RM, come on, RM is so not baby girl.
He was definitely not a baby girl. What the crap?
I'm like not even a huge RM, but when I see RM, I don't see anything baby or girl about him at all.
No.
Now Felix is a little androgynous and can swing that variety way, but the other
On the
I'm
family.
like,
Mingyu is not baby girl either.
oh, like I say, I don't. It makes absolutely no sense.
At that
I was
point,
like,
it's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Yeah,
gotta
it's
be
like
God.
out of
Gone
17, it would be
away.
loser.
Yeah.
I
Gone
would
away
have
by
loved to see
Hans
their
Zimmerman.
reactions if they ever saw that.
I don't know. Gone Away by Hans Zimmerman and IN. Their official audio has surpassed 3.6 million streams on YouTube.
Ooh.
I actually had to get Spotify to play that for me because I haven't heard it in a while. I do not know what this means, but it's evidently something important. Han was ranked number 8 in Rankify's Idol Composer Trend Index. I could find no information on it whatsoever. Its ranking results for the third week of January with 925 trend index. It's also his second appearance on the list. He's the only fourth gen idol on the top 10. So I don't know what it is, but it sounds super important. And yay, Han, go boy, or baby girl, however you want to look at Han. He's more baby girl than RM. I don't get it. Don't get it. Get it.
In all honesty, when I first found BTS, RM did have some pretty baby girl features until I got older. So.
Yeah.
Did he?
Oh,
Back then, BTS
just his
though was
eyes.
like there was
But
like a
they were literal babies when they but
I
calling a
always
30-year-old
laugh
man
looking
baby girl, I'm just like,
I always laugh
is he
looking
though?
back to how they were at the beginning, just because like they were coming off like kind of gangsters in a way with their like pants. I don't know. It's
They're
always so
bulletproof
funny
Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
compared to how they are now. It's a big difference.
Yeah, like
Yeah, they're past their taking shit stage at this
they
point. I mean,
they went from US gangster to hey, let's perform in silk suits to freaking, let's just like have a song called Butter.
they all hated that song, by the way. It
I
was
don't
not their
blame them.
choice to sing that song. I mean, but it's the catchiest freaking I was walking around singing it today, and I don't even know why. I don't think I heard it this morning. No, I know I didn't hear it because I was listening to a different playlist.
The
So
song that comes to mind when I hear BTS is
stuck in
Boy
my
with
head.
Love.
Mine
Boy
is
Love, whatever.
what is it? Fire? Is that what
Oh.
it's called?
Dynamite.
No.
See,
It's
I haven't
similar.
listened to a whole lot of
Fire.
their.
Is it the one where Yoongi sets the dude on fire just by holding his hand?
I think so. That was one of the first songs I've heard from them back a few years back.
What was the first song I actually heard from BTS? It was, I think, their debut song that I heard that got me into them because I was a fan of them from like the first year after they debuted. So
Yeah, I was never a fan of them. Dynamite came on the radio. I didn't know who they were, didn't know anything about K-pop, and really didn't care. So,
I was a fan of them, except they weren't but it was like kind of like an on again, off again kind of fan, where I would listen to them casually, but I wouldn't like hardcore listen to them. It
you
I
wasn't
used
listened to them, you didn't stand them.
I used to
no,
be a huge fan of BTS, and then toxic fans ruined it, and it's like, no thanks.
Their
So
fandom is our fandom
toxic.
is getting to be like Army, and it needs to stop.
Yep, it does.
Let's
But
go ahead and go to
RM is
Cinnamon
my bias.
Salon. Yeah.
really.
I
For me, it's B.
the more
Like,
I peek into BTS, the more I lean towards Tay.
yeah. Except,
He's not I
His
don't take this wrong. Okay. He seems a little not quite all there, but then I see how he
no,
interacts
he's
with the
not.
fans, and
oh,
how he interacts with the fans is what's drawing me to him. The fact that he notices things that the others do not notice, and he goes and, like, giving a rose to one of their army, or it. I mean, like I said, he's not. He makes me think he's not all there. Like, that light bulb just doesn't quite come on, but his passion and what he sees in the fans is drawing me in, because they could all be up on that stage and he's the only one that will zero in on something and do whatever it is he's going to do. So that I really love his album.
You would
His
have
yes.
loved
voice.
you would have loved younger V because he was scared of women for like the longest time. He
I
wouldn't go
can
near
see
any of
that.
them.
He was so shy.
I'm
He was
just
so
glad he outgrew
adorable.
it.
I've seen Army. I wouldn't go after them either. They're scary. Oh my
Um,
God. The
I think
level is
I think
just,
the
oh,
boys were in LA when they were shooting something, and I think V was like 17 maybe at the time, and he really had took an interest in this. I think she's like a background dancer or just like a model for their video, and everybody was trying to get him to go hug her, and when she hugged him, he freaked out and ran away. So
well,
he was like,
did he
he
go
Oh,
then
to an
ran.
all boys school?
Uh,
I remember
I
the
think so.
story. Him and Jungkook went to the same school, but Tay was older and more popular. He's extremely popular. Well, his friend started bullying Jungkook, and so Tay started becoming friends with Jungkook, and eventually, he told his friends to go get bent, quit bullying Jungkook, and so I think that's why they just really have that super special bond. And then of course they grew up together, so there's that.
they're so sweet together.
Yes, armies on Stan Twitter. Oh God.
You would
And
not like some of the freaking
Twitter in general,
stories
though,
about
like,
them.
Twitter is the ultimate crap show. I mean, every day, every time I log on, there's some kind of something going on, and it's never good. Um, but yeah. Anyway, but I remember one admin for one of the Stray Kids Facebook groups. Um, not extremely popular, but she was telling one of my friends that stays need to become more like armies, because BTS is scared of their own fandom, and that's how Stray Kids needs to be, is scared of their own fandom. And I'm like,
uh,
That's that's not
is she
love.
serious? That
and
is
that at that
so,
point, that's when I like leaped out of that group, because I was like, I don't want to be around somebody so toxic. It's like, I don't want nothing.
Why would
that's
you
such
want to
a
be afraid
stupid
of your own
mindset.
fandom?
I know.
Why would you want to be? Why would you want your favorites to be scared of you? I don't understand that. People make no sense to me.
That's
No.
just stupid.
Alrighty.
Like, I don't know.
Let's go ahead and jump into Sunman Salon.
Alrighty. So, as I mentioned last week about the cold and your hair. Hopefully, a lot of people can use these tips. So most of
Stay
us, we,
inside.
that actually doesn't help as much as you think it
Yeah.
does.
Well, my
Um,
windows are open upstairs, so whatever.
So most of us women peoples has experienced, the first hand experience of what heat does to our hair. If you have really curly hair, you know how it frizzes out like super bad.
Yeah.
If you have like straight hair, it's obviously gonna be like super brittle and even more damaged due to like the heat. Um, wow, flip that and you'll have worse hair in the winter than you do the summer. The cold air, for an example, is it actually caused the cuticle of the hair strand to lift ever so slightly, which means it's not gonna lock in that moisture that you need to keep your hair healthy and thriving. That's what causes hair breakage and baldness.
I cut most of my hair, so I mean, it's that short now compared to before.
So the main thing to do during the winter, if you got a humidifier, keep that on. It'll actually help with your hair, not just your breathing, but it helps with your hair. Make sure you're moisturizing, but don't over moisturize because then you're not gonna end up keeping your hair healthy at the same time that you need to. Because over moisturizing will actually cause more breakage.
I did not know
Are
that.
you still playing with your
But
hair?
So, obviously you gotta moisturize. That should be like an everyday thing throughout the year anyway, whether it's hot or cold.
yep, sorry. I don't do anything with my hair, to be honest.
I do
Definitely,
very little.
well, low maintenance hair. Just at least get like some of it trimmed off, like your dead ends, even though your hair's dead anyway as soon as it comes out of your skull.
Is it really?
Yes. The only thing that's alive is your
Root?
little follicle there.
You didn't know that?
I did not. I don't do nothing with my hair. I don't know nothing.
Yep. As soon as your hair comes out and it's down, this literally is just dead. All it is.
Whale.
Um, if you guys don't like spending a lot of money, I know I don't like spending a whole lot of money on hair care products. Travel size is your friend. Unless you got thick hair.
I have thick hair.
Then you need at least like a decent size for like normal.
Yes, I
Um,
do.
So if anybody uses hair dryers,
No.
definitely do not put it on high. You want it on at least medium to cool. It take longer to dry your hair, but it also protects your hair from heat damage.
I have a hair dryer. Do I use it? Not really. It's mostly just
Yeah.
there for a necessity.
I
For whenever I
have-
get the chance to.
I let mine air
I have
dry.
2 or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
I know a lot of people do like
Ooh.
to straighten their hair and curl their hair. Use heat protectant spray. Paul Mitchell may be expensive, but it actually works.
It's not
I don't
actually as
really
expensive
know
as
how to use
others.
that very well. I feel like I don't know how to use it well. Cause like, do you spray it, let it dry, and then strain your hair, or do you spray it and then start straining your hair?
You can do both. I've
You
watched
know what's
my
awesome?
mom spray it, let it dry, then do it. So
I know I ain't got time for that. There's a thing on the back of the bottle. It says directions. That's your best bet.
yeah.
Listen, you can read the directions and still not understand it.
Yeah, the
Now, when
letters are so small I can't
does
read them
not-
anymore, so I just give
It
up.
does not exactly specify. It just says spray your hair, straighten your hair. It does not exactly say, oh, wait till it dries and spray your hair, or and then straighten your hair, or you can straighten your hair straight after you spray it. It does not say that. It just says spray, straighten.
it
Well, there you go.
honest,
Just spray and straighten.
honestly
I
just
don't know.
depends on what you want to do. I've seen my mom spray it, wait for it to dry, then straighten her hair because the product can actually build up on that straightening tool, and then you end up having to shell out 40-50 bucks for new ones.
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
like every whenever I did it the first time, like it was like, and it
Yep.
scares me. I'm like it seems like I'm burning my hair.
If I was back home, I actually have a hair straightener from when I was like 7. That still works because I don't use product for my hair, even though I shouldn't. But another thing about heat protectant sprays is get one that actually works with your hair, because there's different types, and if you get the wrong one, your hair is going to either feel too dry or too greasy, and then you're just not going to get that look you're going
Well, dang.
for.
Ooh,
My mom has
oops.
thick curly hair, so she does use the Paul Mitchell stuff. I have medium to thin hair, and I don't use Paul Mitchell as much as I want to.
Paul
Products.
Mitchell. That's the Paul Mitchell.
I use whatever is on the front line that I grab.
I don't
I
really
don't
straighten my
do
hair
a whole lot
anyways.
with my hair.
Yeah, I used to straighten
Like,
it and then I got lazy. Now
Yep.
I'm straight.
I don't straighten mine either. My
I don't
bangs are
straighten.
naturally straight.
I don't
Oh, must
straight.
be
I don't
nice.
curl. I
You
don't
see
dry.
how I have them back now because
I barely brush.
they're getting on my nerves. They were getting on my nerves. Like every single time I get bangs, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, "Ah, I don't want to get bangs. They're so much fun.
Yeah,
They look so
no.
much better." And then I realized why I should stop getting bangs because they always frustrate me. They're like always in my face. And then I work in a bakery, so I always have to put them back in a hairnet anyways. So it just makes them wonky.
When my bangs are too long, I tend to separate them where my part is at. So like I have like a slight off-centered part, almost like Changbin's hair does. And then like I just part it that way, and then I will go back and trim them like 2 months later.
Oh,
But mine sit flat like this. Like I washed my hair earlier, and then they sit flat.
I
Oh.
will not ever cut my own hair or dye it. I do not trust myself. As you can see, I'm not very good with even keeping up with hair products, so I'm about to try that.
So speaking of hair dye, if you are dyeing your hair, whether it be at the salon or getting that $14 to $15 box dye that's not even good for your hair, make sure you're using a color restoring shampoo and conditioner.
The purple shampoo thing?
You can use the purple shampoo. Purple shampoo,
The
I think, is
purple
more like
shampoo just it takes the brassy yellow out of your hair.
it's like a
Yeah,
toning
I have
shampoo
that.
for the blonde.
Yeah,
Since mine are like blonde now, I
Yep.
I use it.
I use clarifying shampoo about once or twice a month.
So, last thing for the hair thing. If you're dealing with staticky hair, that's gonna sound weird. Use a dryer sheet.
You know
Yep.
what? That does not sound as weird as I like it would seem. It makes sense.
It works. I've actually used it for my hair to keep it down because my house is like really super freaking humid. Use a static sheet, dryer sheet thingy if your hair is staticky.
I need to do that. Mine
Yep,
is
yep.
always staticky.
Then use it, lady.
I don't even use it for my clothes.
It's not good for clothes.
Oh,
Is
what
it
are we gonna
really
do
not?
with you?
No, it's really not.
I know. My little sister would literally make fun of me, and it's just like, you know, like a guy. What can I say?
Alrighty, let's move on to beautiful. I wish Miss Leono was here. I ordered ColourPop's Twilight set. So I really like the colors in that. Super excited to get that in. And then they of course dropped the Valentine set, so ordered that. That is the most I've spent in makeup in a year. I added a 32 beauty products that'll ensure when you walk in a room you can, I don't know what the rest of this title says, but I'm sure it's something. Other than that, there's nothing going on. 7 best Versace colognes for men that I would wear if I liked it. And then obsessed with glass skin, 8 Korean beauty tips. I wish I was patient enough. I can't even do IN's 7 layers of
I know, Stacy.
toner. Nobody got time for that.
I do, I just am lazy.
Yeah,
do.
no, not in my house. Half the time I'm doing good to get my face washed before I go to bed.
I do not got the time.
I don't even wash my face half the time.
Same. I should start doing that,
I
but
usually Alexa off.
I'll use sugar scrub every now and then.
it's just really hard, like because with my daughter, she always is like needing my attention 24/7.
Maybe
So
you and her can start that routine together.
yeah, we should. I mean, sometimes I can't even
Uh,
take a shower with her sitting there trying to have a conversation or wanting to join.
I'll just make it like a habit of, being like, hey, we're gonna wash our face, or at least wipe it down with like a wash rag or something, or even a baby wipe.
That won't mess up her skin. Like, doesn't that feel weird?
The
I
baby
would
wipe
think
thing.
the baby wipes are super drying.
Water wipes are actually quite soothing on the face.
Mm, I don't
I
know. I
use
don't use it.
whenever like at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, me and my daughter has this mommy daughter time because I work a lot and she goes to school up until 6 p.m. because she goes to daycare afterwards while I'm working. So we do things to hang out. And one of the things we do is like face mask and our nails and stuff like that. Maybe I'll add face wash.
I did remember to use a sheet mask last week while I was
I did
drinking coffee.
I did a mud mask earlier this week, and I got made fun of because it was a white mud mask.
A white one.
Yeah,
I always like to use the claim.
that's what it
The
I
was.
use the
oh,
Like
I use the wash off mask in the bathtub when I'm in there. It's getting me to sit in there long enough to make sure it stayed on for 10 minutes. Like I have to set a timer, otherwise I won't stay in there long enough. I think other than top line,
ooh,
you'll have stuff in top line.
I did put something in there. Danny's
Um,
Instagram just reached 7 million followers.
didn't I
Woo!
already say that?
yeah,
Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear that. It was in my
I
room.
I know I should start putting all this stuff in because I like have personal things for Hyunjin and Felix and yeah, I still have a lot of news I haven't gone through yet.
My dog is like attacking me right now. She's
I
way
saw
too
I
excited.
saw the dog.
Yeah, she's getting excited over here and she's attacking
You're
me.
like you're like this, and I see the there it is.
Mine's
She's like,
sitting
come and
next
get
to
me.
me. I have a feeling there's some things that are a little active today or
Mine is
tonight.
sleeping on his dad's bed.
Mm.
Mine is not. She's supposed to be asleep.
You read my story I sent out the other day, right? Did y'all not see it?
What story?
I have a Grinch animatronic at the top of my stairs.
Oh,
It's motion censored. I go past that thing 4
Oh
or 5
yeah.
times a day. Never sets it off. Never sets it off. and the dogs were asleep on my bed, and I was in the bathroom getting ready to take a bath, and it goes off.
That's creepy.
That is pretty creepy.
And then it did it like 3 days before too. Like me and Bella were downstairs watching TV, and my husband and my little crackhead dog was in the kitchen, and it goes off. It's like there's nothing.
That happened
But
with
I
my
even
mom.
yeah, I even showed my son. I walked from up the stairs, down the hallway, up the stairs, down the hallway, down the stairs, like 5 times, and it never went off. So yeah, that's
Wonder
my
which
story of
spirit's
the week.
doing it.
I don't know, but I wish they'd stop. It's annoying.
Yeah, my daughter has this had this baby shark, right? You know, the one you put in the water and it sings and
Oh
swims.
God.
Yeah. So I guess it was broken like that. So we're just like, oh well. And it like a little bit of water touched it. And so my mom went to go take a shower and it was in there. And it literally was just like, baby shark.
Oh
And she was like, it sounded demonic. And she was like, she came out that restroom and just like, Claudie, da 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 da. She starts going off about it. It's like, get this dang toy out. That scared the crap out of me.
I'm glad I don't have that issues except my Alexa over here has been going off nonstop.
I
It's
have
like
had mine. Yeah, it's
I'm
been
Is
weird.
that going like around or something? Because I had to unplug mine because she was just playing like some creepy music.
I was
mine.
sitting watching TV today, and my Alexa in the kitchen went off. No reason.
She's like, today I feel like going. I feel like being that type today.
My ex and I will be arguing, and all of a sudden Alexa will be like, "I didn't quite catch that. Can you repeat that?"
I know
She's
it's
like,
freaky, isn't
she's
it?
like this is the tea right now. I need you to repeat because I missed.
I know. I'm like, Biatch, I didn't say nothing to
And then,
you. Do not
and the
say
thing,
nothing to me.
yeah, and the thing is, I had it sitting in the middle of my floor because I was too lazy to put it back where it's actually at right now. Um, and it's like I can't help you. It's like I didn't ask for help.
All right.
She's like, pretty soon, y'all will not get any help from me anymore.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
know.
pick up for when I play the games, but it'll pick up everything else. It's like
Sometimes mine thinks she's a comedian. She tells me these really bad jokes. And I didn't ask for that either.
Yeah, my daughter does. She'll be like, Alexa, tell me a joke, and then bust out laughing with the jokes
Yeah,
that
but
she
I
tells
don't
her.
ask. I don't ask. It just offers, and I don't want offers.
She's like,
maybe
listen,
Um,
can you stop being so dry and listen to me?
yeah.
maybe your Alexa's like, oh, she needs a pick me up today. Let's do a dad joke.
Yeah, that just usually pisses me off. Did I already talk about Felix's Brazilian fan group? I don't think I did. Okay. A Brazilian fan group for Felix donated 1,395.85 Brazilian real, which in ours is $283.27. So that's kind of super sad that their stuff doesn't. Anyway, to Brazilian UNICEF under Felix's name.
That's so
So
sweet.
I thought that, yeah, I hope that, our South American state get to actually go to a concert in their own country this year.
I'm
Ateez
hoping for
went down there. Why would Stray Kids not go down there?
JYPP.
I know.
Right. Deep End for Felix has surpassed 26 million Spotify streams. It remains the most streamed replay track overall, the fastest to reach 1 million to 26 million, the only track over 24 million. And okay, yeah, that's all of that one. I
That
know
song
Limbo,
makes me cry.
yeah. But once we found out what it was about, I wasn't so upset anymore.
I don't know what it's about because I didn't look up the meaning.
He watched
Oh
the
yeah.
Bridge to Terabithia, and that's
Oh,
what's going on. I have
I
seen
remember
that show
seeing that.
once. Like I have to go back and rewatch that movie to figure out what provoked that kind of
It's
emotion
sad
from him.
too. It's
I
it's
think I
sad.
know what provoked it out of that movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a really long time.
It's so
Hyunjin's
sad.
Instagram post from September the 25th has reached 3 million likes. It's only his 18th post to reach 3 million. I
Yay
feel
for
bad for the other
Hyunjin.
guys because, yeah, they don't get the same notoriety. Three
I
Racha by Three
noticed
Racha
that.
has surpassed 35 million streams on Spotify.
Yay.
Wonder what brought that on. Imagine that. Did we have more stuff in top line? I know I haven't put anything in there. Oh, Stray Kids has been nominated 2024 iHeartRadio Music Awards for Best or K-pop Artist of the Year and K-pop Song of the Year. How did Stay not get Best Fandom of the Year nomination?
Probably because everybody hates Stay.
It's just a nomination. But anyway, it was a Tiny and somebody else got it. I don't remember who it was, but they got the nominations. It wasn't Army, so that's all I can say on that. The rest of the stuff is just where they're on world stuff, world charts.
Did you get the red?
Huh?
Did you get red lights?
Yeah, there's some stuff in red lights, but I don't
No,
know
No,
what
not
it
red
was.
lights. The song Red Lights.
Oh, that's coming in tomorrow's thing. Yeah,
It-
that surpassed a milestone, like what, 120 million streams or something like that. I
105
don't remember.
million.
Yeah.
105 million
Um,
streams on YouTube.
I have that coming out for tomorrow. Most listeners on Spotify, Stray Kids comes in 12th. A lot of this is because Army has started re-listening to all of BTS's songs from debut. So that's why we keep getting knocked down. And then, of course, Jungkook had an album, and V had an album, and Jimin had an album, and Suga had an album. So we're like running behind, like fourth,
Solos.
fifth, and sixth behind all of that. So, yeah, for solo stuff.
Then again, they've been around for 10 years, so not that surprising.
Someone's got 7. They just celebrated their 10 years. Like,
Oh yeah,
earlier this week.
Jackson's letter.
I didn't get to read them
What?
because got 7.
He wrote a
celebrated
letter
10
to
years.
yeah, for their 10
I gotta
year
say.
anniversary. It's really sweet. I loved it.
That's Jackson for you. He made
I
look
would
like
love to
just-
meet him. I would love to meet him. He's the sweetest.
I want to see like someone else propose at one of his concerts, like what happened with the Magic Man tour. He was like fangirling over his own fans.
Girl, let me tell you, he literally like he's such a like the way he reacts to people is the funniest thing. And the fact that he would literally bring you up on stage and dance on you or sing to you, but he will not do it if you have a boyfriend. Like he has that much
And
respect.
that is why if I ever go to his concert, I am single that night. He won't get me to say nothing else.
I've been single forever, so I would not have that issue.
If he ever pulled me up on stage just to sing to me, I will die right then and there. Because,
Right.
he's the one that got me to got 7 in the first place.
If he even notices me in the audience, I'm just gonna die.
He's also stopped his concerts because people have fainted, and I think some people needed water and everything else, and he stopped like the whole thing. He's like, we're not gonna start again until like these people get water. So
He
Yeah.
also keeps watch of the camera people or whoever's up on stage, and he makes sure that they stay away from the edge to not fall off or anything like that. He's so
Yeah.
like
I can't wait
He's
till
very
he gets
aware.
I cannot wait
I
till
wish he
gets
could find somebody because he deserves that. He deserves
he's
those
coming up on
babies.
30, and like his dream was to
Yeah.
settle down by 30.
whoever he marries and starts a family with is gonna be super freaking lucky.
Yes.
They got one of the biggest hearts of gold in the K-pop industry right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the fact that we know for a fact this man would worship the ground they walk on, oh, the luckiest.
Yeah, he would
Right.
spoil the heck out of him.
The way he treats the kids, oh, he would be a great dad.
Except when it comes to bugs. He's literally afraid of bugs.
Well, but
And
that's a lot of them. I know our guys. Somebody said,
There was
what was I I was watching something, and one of our guys is like super freaked out over spiders. Maybe I don't know. Anyway,
I think
so
Jackson
don't
is
look at
the
me like
top
that.
for those who don't like bugs. There's a clip of him. I think they were trying to catch either a cockroach or a grasshopper, and he flipped out before he even got close to it.
Ugh, I don't like either one of those either. So can't
I
say
don't
anything.
either. There was this there was this one I don't know if it was a show or anything like that, but it was the funniest thing because it was like a spider on the wall and these two guys were in the room because
I
they
know
were
what
like
you're talking
funky.
about.
Yeah, yeah. And he was like, ah!
He's like,
and,
there's a spider.
and the other
Yeah,
guy
you're
is
like,
like,
just
okay, calm down. And he was like, okay, okay,
I
I'm
wonder
calm.
if it
And looks
moves.
back at it and it's gone. He's like, ah!
It's gone. The spider's gone. It
That
pops
was
up
so
from time to
funny.
time.
That is what I imagine Jackson's reaction would be.
He the I'll probably have to find it, but it was funny. He could not make a sound. Like he was in the doorway and like the table's like all the way over here with the little contraption on it for that bug. He couldn't even get the other two people's attention that was in the room behind him. He could not speak, but yeah, he's fine with putting on a dress and making fun of himself.
Oh, or
Boys being scared of bugs just cracks me up.
that one idol that's scared of frogs. There,
Which
his company, I don't remember
who?
his name, but there's this one idol that's scared of frogs. And
That's weird.
his company or whatever put him in a room with a bunch of frog decoration and on a table was a bunch of frogs
Oh no.
That's just
in
cruel.
a box. It
No.
was one of his members literally like told him to knock it off and that this was the cruelest thing they could have done. And I was like, oh, he like literally it felt like he was like frozen in fear.
I used to have a frog when I lived in Amarillo. He'd be on the sidewalk every night waiting for me to come out and say night. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like he would just sit there and then I'd come out and say good night and it could pop off.
So I looked up the idol. His name is Hendery. He has like a huge phobia of frogs.
Yep.
And this
Probably
happened.
something from his past.
He's part of NCT and Wavy, from what I'm seeing.
Um,
So I understand. I don't like frogs either. I can't stand touching them.
I definitely
no,
got
I'm not going to
smacked
go
when
pick
I
them
was
up. I
younger.
used to, but I don't anymore.
I'll
I
pick up
got
a worm
smacked when
before
I
I pick
was
up.
younger by my dad because I saw like I saw a toad like crawl into a hole and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I dug up that hole and pulled it out. And he smacks me. He's like, drop that right now. That could be poisonous. And this is not. Go wash your hands. Yep. I've been scared of touching them ever since.
I would
That's
pick up
fun.
a freaking worm before I pick up a frog. And I don't like picking up worms either.
I don't like picking up worms either.
I
My
used to
old
be-
age, I just don't like doing a lot of stuff.
I was the biggest tomboy. I would pick up. I would not mind any bugs to the point where my mom would literally call me and to take a bug out if she ever saw one. There's times where I picked up garden snakes when I was younger. But one thing I cannot do is roaches. Like that is my
Oh,
biggest fear.
no, no, no.
If there is a roach in the room, I will abandon you at all costs. Ask my daughter.
I am hugely afraid of centipedes. I cannot stand them. Our last apartment was nothing but centipedes. And
Ugh.
one happened to crawl above my head on my wall. I flipped out and didn't sleep in my room for 4 days.
Now, see, I think that's where like the fears stem from because that happened when I stayed at my uncle's house one time. Like I was scared to go to sleep at his house because I saw like a bunch of roaches there. And the one time I did, and when I finally fell asleep, one face, and I feel like that's where my fear stemmed from because I was just like, now I feel like they're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna come eat
Oh,
me alive.
When I was little, we first moved to Texas, and my mom and dad had bought this house, and I remember that I couldn't use the bathroom closest to my bedroom because I don't remember why, but so I'd have to go all the way across the house and go into my mom and dad's bathroom. Apparently, we had a really bad water leak under the house somewhere. So I
Oh
remember one
no.
night sitting there, on the toilet, and it's probably like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, so you're like only a quarter of awake anyway. And I don't remember how the light came on. Like my mom was checking on me. I probably fell asleep because, I've done that before while you're on the toilet, half asleep anyway. But she turns on the light and all these roaches just like scatter all over the floor. So at that point, yeah, I was like, no, I'm good.
um,
I'm good.
when I was dating my child's father, the first centipede that I saw, literally, I think went across the wall. I was in our little circle thing that looks like a tower, and he went and he left me inside the apartment, freaking having a breakdown while he went to smoke.
Oh my gosh.
And
I had
I was on the phone. I'm sitting there, kind of like, I can't kill it. I had the dustpan in hand, trying to smack it. And then, the last centipede I actually saw from over there, his cousin went and took a piece of toilet paper and smacked it. When it takes
I
me like
can't
an hour to kill a centipede.
I get
Yeah.
that. Literally, me and my daughter would tag team. If we ever see like a water roach, we would tag team to see like who's gonna actually kill it. I'm like, you kill it. No, she's like, no, 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 mommy, you kill it. You kill it. Like, no, no, you. I say, okay, okay. I'll throw the shoe down, and you just gotta step on it every
That's
time.
funny.
Oh,
And mind you, my daughter's 6, so it can be embarrassing, but at the same time, I ain't taking no risk.
Ever have a run-in with a wolf spider?
oh yeah.
No.
Lots. Lots,
That
lots, lots.
I slept in a basement because it was like the only room that I had back home. Um, my sister's cousin just got done sleeping in my room. She was sleeping on like a camping kind of like blanket. Well, she gets up. I set my binder there that I use for school and everything else. I pick it up. Huge ass spider about this big coming at me.
Oh,
I mean, they're
no.
not gonna hurt you. But they're big like tarantulas. They're huge. Yeah. My daughter
Arachnophobia.
is super, super scared of spiders.
Yep.
So
I panic attack, screaming for my little brother. He wouldn't kill it, and I had to pay him like $4 to stop it with a shoe.
So I'm actually kind of scared of daddy long legs,
Long
believe it
legs.
or not. Yeah, because when I was younger, I think about 5 or 6, my uncle actually tossed one down my shirt.
Oh no.
So yeah, that's where that fear stems from. But you know what's funny though? Chan actually talks about this during a live, one of his lives in Channy's room, and he mentions like, in Australia they always have like these big bugs there or anything like that, and there was like a roach on the wall or something, and his mom was like, "Oh my gosh!" It calls for her husband. It's like, "Kill it, kill it, kill it!" And the husband was like, "That is so mean. Why would you kill that for? He could have a family." And he starts going off, and he was just like, "Let me just catch him and put him downstairs." She's like, "Ew, kill it!" And he
I'm
just
s-
like
I'm so glad I'm not Australian because they have like a spider
They
ring.
have, yeah, it's like Jurassic sized spiders.
I
It's insane.
know. I literally I always wanted to visit Australia because I love the accents and I've been wanting to go to visit. And I just can't bring myself because I know they got like giant bugs and some of like they got poisonous stuff, like a lot of poisonous stuff there. So I'm just like, is it worth it? Is
Well,
it
you
worth
also have
it?
to
I
deal with
always,
spider ring too, which is just like
No.
that's what they deal with a lot. There's like I think it
no.
lasts for like a month or so.
Yeah, so like after my trip in June, my next trip next year, I was like trying to decide if I should go to like Italy or Australia or something. I couldn't decide between the two.
Go to
And
Italy, you'll get better
that's
cheese.
that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, like I don't think the bugs will be worth it.
Well, Italy, like you don't want to be wearing shorts and a tank top either, despite like the hot weather. Because then, like, the people there will sit there and be like, "You're one of them workers." They don't wear tank tops and short shorts like Americans do. So that's it.
Oh my
All
gosh.
righty. Let's get off the bug thing. So, all right. I think are we done? Are we done? We got
I think
everything going?
we touched everything.
All righty. Hopefully they cancel school tomorrow because I really don't want to work, but anyway,
I don't hope for
so
that.
we're supposed to get ice, so hopefully they will
Oh
cancel
damn!
because we do not need all these teenagers sliding all the way into school. So anyway,
Oh, we
thank
got one
y'all
more
for
third.
coming. Yeah, well, we got ice. Um, we will tune in next week and maybe all my stuff will be working. I doubt it, but we can wish. So
Yay!
anyway,
Yay.
yeah. So see you later.
Bye.
Bye.